If you are 45 years and above and still paying rent, do this before it is too late. A time will come when you look great. By the way, this is good Joseph. And on this video, I'm going to take you through step by step on what you're supposed to do before it is actually too late. And if you're watching me for the first time, this is kind of videos that I upload each and every day. So you have a reason to go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit that small button written subscribe. There is a small magic button there. Once you do that, you'll be notified whenever I upload a new good video. And leave a comment on the comment section. Make sure that you like this video. Let's get on the board. Now, here you are at 45 years and above, and you're still paying rent. First of all, there's nothing wrong with that. The only thing here is that time is catching up with you, and a time will come when things will be so difficult. Now, what do you do at this particular time? First of all, do not press that panic button. I know you're about to press that panic button. This is the age where anxiety kicks in. You're about to actually get to depression, stresses, and what have you. You are not alone. It is actually projected in this country called Kenya. I don't know how it is in your country. Go check it out. Over 60% of people are actually still renting. By the way, just because a lot of you are paying this rent does not mean it's time for you to celebrate. This is what you're supposed to do. First of all, the first thing that you're supposed to do, of course, I've told you don't panic, don't press any panic button, don't develop any anxiety. The first thing that you're supposed to do is to scrutinize your finances. This is where now you do what we call anatomy of finances. Anatomy. You know, this is where, you sit down with your pen and paper and find out how much comes in and how much goes out and how much goes for fun, for comfort. You know, I realize some of you guys, you become emotional when you're spending your money. You are saying that you want to give your kid the best life out there. Then you mess up bigly. Because remember one thing, at 45, probably you have kids at colleges, universities, maybe high school or something like that. And there are two things that you need to feed here. There is you who is 15 years away from becoming retired. And there is these kids that are about to get out of the school. So you have to scrutinize all your finances, and you have to go ahead and find out what comes in, what goes to fun, what goes to must have, what goes to nice to have, and what goes to what we call the good to have. Are we together? Now, that is the first thing. This is where we audit your finances immediately. Now, what other thing that you're supposed to do is remember, I'm about to say something that may sound controversial here. I'm telling you, just be real. First of all, be real to yourself. Be real to yourself. I know you have that dream house that you love, or, a flat roof house. I know you have that something like, a dream house, a mansionette, and some. First of all, be real. There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying that you do away with your dream. Still hold on to your dream, but be real to yourself. I gave you an example. You can desire for an A. You can desire for an A in your heart, but your brain can deliver a C. Are we together? Now, what happens is that, I'm not saying that you do away with the dream of no. Be real to yourself. At this particular time, this is where we say any will actually work. And by the way, God can even give you that dream house even at your 70s. What you're supposed to do is just stop dreaming that 4-bedroom mansionette somewhere and what have you. What happens here? Think starter ownership. Starter ownership. Even if you'll manage to build yourself a 2-bedroom somewhere, even if it's not an ensuite, provided you want to go somewhere, as you transition out from the active life, start somewhere. And when now you start focusing on the real achievable things, transitioning, it becomes a bit easier because you get the motivation and the zeal as you progress to the next level. I didn't say you do away with your dream. No, I said be real to yourself. This is how the life looks like, by the way, if you didn't know. Okay, let me draw you something here. This is how the life of a human being looks like. When you are young, you are on the wider gap here. This is where you can dream about anything. You can be anything. You can be a pilot. You can be whatever. You can be an engineer. You have a lot of options to choose. As you become older, the options become thinner and thinner and thinner. A time will come where, when you are 45, probably you are around this particular point. This is where the options can become lesser. For example, if say you wanted to be a pilot and you are at 45, honestly speaking, I don't think you can be a pilot. I'm not saying that if you go to school, you can't be a pilot, but the reality is, the odds are stacked against you. That's for a fact. So the more you become older, the more real you're supposed to become to yourself. You wanted to have that mansionette, you wanted to build this, you can have the strategy. And by the way, let me tell you one thing, you can achieve that dream, provided you have the strategy for the next 15 years. Now, let's go to what we call the actionable steps. Now, what are the actionable steps that you're supposed to take if you're still paying rent and you are this particular age? Now, one, first of all, do what we call co-invest. Start doing what we call co-invest. What is to co-invest? Don't just invest alone. Why? At this particular time, you may not have a lot of finances to surrender. We call them the surplus, or let's say, I forgot that particular name, okay? Disposable income, to actually put it out there and be able to invest. And I actually wonder why people tend to focus on investing the disposable income. No, investing should be part and parcel of your life. I tell people that savings should be part of your bill. It should be a bill to you. Anyway, co-invest. When I say co-invest, at 45 years old, I'm pretty sure you've actually interacted with different people. There are people whom you call them your friends. Find out people who are serious. Find out people who are on the same mission as you. I give examples that lions don't hunt with hyenas, yet they are all carnivores. You're supposed to be hanging around with people who are the same mission as you. At this particular level, just look for 10 friends. Should I say 10 serious friends? And then you can agree, each and every week, guys will be contributing 2K. And we should all say, hey, you know what? All the 10 of us, no one has a home. And all of us say we are at 45 years or something like that or above. Now, we should be contributing 2,000 each and every week. I'm just using random numbers to explain my point of what is to co-invest. Now, because you yourself per week with 2K, you can do nothing. The other person with his 2K or her 2K, at the end of the week, they can do nothing. But when you bring forth these funds, at the end of the week, you guys, you have yourself done 20K. And then you can actually sit down. And this one can even go through the lawyers and have all the legal documentation and constitution and agreement. The money that you're contributing is towards owning a home in future. Because if you don't do this, then we are on a mess. We're on a highway to mess. Now, what you do is that this is 20K per week. In a month, guys, that's like 80K or above. Then, this is now you combine with the next option that I'm about to give you. Or before you even share that next option, you can even entirely rely on what you guys are contributing. You can contribute continuously. Say you guys, you come together at 45. Then you start contributing this money. And if you're saying an averagely you guys are pulling a funds of 80K in a month, then you can just multiply this by 12. Then multiply this, say, by 2 years. And you guys, you can see how much you're getting. This money probably, not even probably, in high chances are likely to get you guys an acre of land, 1 acre of land. Some places in Kenya, you can get 1 acre of land at around 1.3 million. Why? You are 10 of you. At least you're looking forward where one can own a parcel of land of, say, 50 by 100. And 1 acre of land in Kenya gives you approximately 8 parcel of land of 50 by 100. You are 10 of you. You can have a slightly smaller than 50 by 100. After all, it's still a land, isn't it? Then from there, you can jointly buy that particular parcel. And then from there, you can subdivide it. And then, guys, if you feel like maybe you can subdivide and resell that land and recoup more, probably, and get a better place, maybe, this is a little bit interior, you can actually resell that land, get the cash, then buy a better place. Or you can have a different approach. This is the agreement. You are 10 of you. Then, let's say approximately you guys is to buy, each and every one of you will get a parcel of land, let's say worth 800K. And then you guys, you can do what we call random lots, whereby you have number 1 all the way to number 10. Then you agree, we will be buying each one of us a parcel of land at a time. We buy you next. And of course, you have the constitution and agreement binding you. That even if you buy for the first person, that person cannot own that particular land until everyone owns the land. Because you can buy the first person, then he disappears or she disappears. Like you can come up with a thing that can help you guys to pull up the funds and be able to come up with a structure, be able to come up with an asset, then ultimately build the land. And if you ask me, I would say if you get your parcel, you should focus on building the rentals. You can build some few rentals. Maybe you can build just like 2 or 3 units, depending with your financial muscle or the effort. Then whereby you can be able to live in 1 unit so that the other unit can actually give you some 10 or 20 or 30K in a month that can be able to pay you some few bills here and there. Because at the end of the day, when you retire, home is not ultimately the only investment you need. You need a home and you still need cash flow. You get what I'm saying? So you co-invest with friends who are on the same mission as you. You bring the resources together, you build together, you buy an asset. Once you buy an asset, then, you guys, you have like 15 years to come. You can agree for the next 10 years, we are solely focusing on buying ourselves land, building our own home, preferably rentals, but wherever they will prefer, then you go step by. And by the way, listen, if you can have 10 guys and you don't even know what to do and you are in Kenya, this is my number. You guys, you can invite me for just an unmanageable fee anyway. I can be able to give you a very well elaborate way how you can actually realize this. If you're already a formed group, you can shoot me a call and then you can be able to pick it up there. Anyway, or as an individual, you can give me a call. Now, the other point that you can also go that I highly suggest is to go the circles way. This is now where the circles do the magic. Either you can go there as an individual or you can go there as a group. Let me treat this as an individual. At this particular time, I'm assuming you are 45. If you are 45, then you have 15 years to go. By the time you hit 60, why 60? 60 in most cases, when you hit that age, you're retired, especially here in Kenya. I don't know what about in your country. Again, I don't know whether you guys, you have something like SACCOs. SACCOs are like alternatives of the banks. These are simply institutions whereby you can put your money, then borrow against your money, or you can borrow several times your cash. Now, say you are employed somewhere, and then you're getting a certain salary, and then you are being left with a very small margin of money. Then what you're supposed to do is to make sure that you shake down all your expenses that you're having. Then go ahead and register in a SACCO. Very reputable, reliable, verifiable, regulated, that you can be able to save. And then you can decide each and every month I'll be sending my 10K, 15K, 20, depending with your financial ability and the muscle. And of course, I said here, it's not what you can save comfortably. You're not operating on normal times. It's what you can sacrifice to save. Get what I'm saying? Now, see, when you open a SACCO here, you keep on pumping that particular SACCO with cash. And then, of course, you look forward. In most SACCOs in Kenya will give you 3 times of what you've saved. Let's say you've actually sat down and pen and paper. This is what you should always do before you even invest. Take a pen and paper and ask yourself, say, I would like to buy a parcel of land that probably will cost me 800,000 or maybe will cost me $1 million. Then, of course, I don't want to build my own home, honestly, because if I do build my own home, I think it's be more kind of a liability than it is of an asset or rather an investment, because of course it's an asset anyway. I would actually go ahead and build, say, a 2-bedroom, just a normal simple house, a 2-bedroom somewhere. Probably that will cost me, say, $1 million. And then the rest of the $1 million, I'll build 2 units of 1 bedroom. Then that 2 units of 1 bedroom, I'll rent it, say, at 6,000. Then it means at the end of the month, I have 12,000. So at most, or should I say, I need 3 million. Good. Now, what do you do when you need the 3 million? Focus you on investing or pulling up fund 1 million. For example, say you save 1 million here. Are we together? You save 1 million. What happens here is that you can be able to borrow 3 times of this. Once you get the 3 million, go ahead and buy yourself a parcel of land and come up with the units. And once you come up with the units, therefore, what do? You actually go ahead and you have yourself a home and you have some units that are giving you cash. And probably if you borrow this money, they will tell you, hey, pay this money the next 10. Even if they tell you pay this money the next 15 years. For God's sake, at least those are the years that you have. By the time now you retire, because you're still in your active age. You're still in your active age. So therefore, you'd rather even commit yourself under this loan, whereby you come up with rentals, rather than building your own home. You're actually going to retire with 2 units of rental, and you're having a place where you can call a home. And when you become old, at least you have 2 tenants there that will be paying you, even if they'll pay for your water or electricity. And then you can look for food and what have you. I mean, you see, that's quite decent. The only way you do is to commit your next 15 years that is coming. Because it's, by the way, when you even hit 60 years old, you're still an active guy. I'm just saying, assuming you would be active. But at least by the time now, see, if you're employed, you can take advantage of that employment window to actually go ahead and borrow money, buy a parcel of land and build some rentals there, and then you can live on 1 unit. Then you can spread that loan repayment period in the time that you're actually living out there, so that when you retire, you at least have a place where you can call a home, if ultimately owning a home is actually a dream to you. So I've given you 2 options here. You can go by yourself here on circles, or you can decide even to go there the group guy, which is actually the most amazing way. For example, you'll actually hasten that. For example, say you guys, we've used an example of you guys contributing 80K in a month. So therefore, that means in a year, you multiply this figure by 12, multiply this by the time you guys are saving in 1 year. By the way, if you were to take a pen and paper and calculate this, that would be like, is it 960,000 if I'm not wrong? Yeah, around that figure. If 960,000, you guys, within 1 year, you multiply that number by 3 times or even 4 times, you guys, you have over 3 million. Over 3 million, honestly, you can buy a very good 1 acre of land in a very quite good place. That's a whole acre of land. Then you can subdivide it to 10 equal plots. Then everyone has a parcel of land. That is after 1 year. You have a loan to pay, then you contribute towards repayment of the loan, or you can decide to sell that particular land, or you can decide now to continue. That's a single year. Then after another year, you guys, you can focus on paying that loan, or another 2 years. Then after that, then you guys, you focus on now building each and every one, some units there. Like, you know what, guys, they have several ways of actually hitting this and be able to coming up with a solution over this particular challenge and a problem. I hope, guys, we've actually picked some points here. Maybe let's see whether there are some pointers that I've left. Leverage on circle, that one I've discussed about it. Of course, another thing is to monetize your skills. For the last 45 years that you've lived on this earth, there's something that you've actually acquired. There's something that you know. And you not only believe that you know, but you can verifiably believe or prove that you know. You can teach people. You can tell people about something. There is a guy whom I follow from I think from England. I think it's called Mark Tilby or something like that. He's a guy who has been in the industry of making money, investing and what have you. He decided to be a YouTuber when he was old, and he's making quite good money. You know, he's actually sharing his experience and the skills that he has acquired over a long period of time. So you can be able to do that. Another thing is, of course, partner, that one I've actually discussed. The other thing is to downscale to upscale. Cut down on the expenses that are not necessary. And the reason why you are, even if it means you migrating from where you're living to a different place, so be it. So that at least you can do something. You see, there is no way you can actually enjoy the comfort and, of course, expect growth. No, you only grow when you're actually uncomfortable. Don't wait to build. You start something for the sake of your life. And that is my actually pointers that I wanted to share with you on this particular video. Well, I didn't share this because I know everything, but I shared it because, hey, there's something I can share with you guys, and I believe it can be of help. Let's get started, let's do something. And in case you need my services in one way or the other, please don't forget, whatever you're seeing out there, that is my number. Shoot me a call. Now let's talk business. See you there.